You guys, we need to talk about the secret lives of Mormon wives because the girls are fighting. Jessi is online calling out Demi. We finally know what Fruity Pebbles is. Even if you guys aren't watching it, this stuff is nuts, and we're gonna get into all of the drama that is being talked about online right now. So just to quickly jog your memory, last time we talked about the Mormon wives drama, we were talking about season 2 and how chaotic that Vanderpump villa visit was. It was basically the entire season's drama was what happened when some of the Mormon wives visited the Vanderpump villa cast in Italy. Jen had actually accused Demi of flirting with Vanderpump villa's Marciano. Demi denied it, but Marciano later said that the flirting definitely happened. At the end of season 2, he actually dropped a bomb that not only did he flirt with Demi, but he hooked up with Jessi, and Jessi is married. Now, Jessi denied even kissing him earlier in the season, but shortly after season 2, she wasn't seen wearing her wedding ring, and everyone was wondering if there was actually some truth to what Marciano was saying. Now, there was also some other drama with Demi in season 2, as it was said that she was trying to get Jessi kicked off the show for a higher paycheck, and she was even exposed for secretly warning Taylor not to go to Jessi's salon, which was a really big deal because Demi and Jessi are supposed to be best friends, so for her to be talking about Jessi like that and telling people not to go to her salon, obviously that was not giving good friend vibes. Now, Demi skipped the season 2 reunion to go to Disneyland, and at the reunion, the girls came with receipts, tea, and a voice memo that made things so much worse for Demi. Jessi, Layla, and Michaela were at Vanderpump Villa with Demi for the Italy trip in question, and they all said that she was flirty with Marciano to the point that people were like, is your husband gonna be okay with that? And they were like, he obviously wouldn't be. And we're just questioning why she was doing what she was doing. At the reunion, Jessi brought receipts of texts from Marciano's phone of his texts with Demi. And everyone at the reunion was shocked hearing this, saying, you know, her husband definitely doesn't know about this. And the things that she was saying in the messages is not something that you say to someone when you're married. But Whitney was standing up for Demi though, saying that she doesn't like how Demi is being treated in the group, which everyone clapped right back at her, saying Demi was accused of trying to push Jessi out of the show entirely in season 2, allegedly negotiating contracts behind the scenes and floating around the idea that Jessi could be replaced for higher pay. And once again, they're supposed to be best friends, so if Demi is trying to get a bigger check by having her bestie booted from the reality show, it's obviously not going to be painting her in the best light. Now, Demi was also accused of sending a cease and desist to Zach and Jen to prevent them from talking about her flirting with Marciano at Vanderpump Villa, which was also a big thing at the reunion, them talking about this. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, we've got another bombshell that's blowing up across social media now that season 3 has come out. The biggest focus of season 3 was Jessi and Demi. Now, Jessi actually admitted to an emotional affair with Marciano during a rough patch in her marriage, as she talked about them having a toxic dynamic, which got her into the mindset of why she did what she did. She since said that it was a good wake-up call for them because it got them help, as they have been in couples therapy. Now, when it comes to Demi and Marciano, Demi alleged that Marciano had touched her inappropriately while the group was in Italy and has been denying any claims of being flirty with Marciano, strictly just saying that what happened was unwanted on her end. She made it very clear that regardless of how things looked on the outside, she felt violated by the interaction. Now, Marciano has denied what Demi said and insisted that everything was consensual between them and that he never grabbed her inappropriately. Now, what's complicated things is that Demi had exchanged messages with Marciano after the alleged incident, even following him on social media and DMing him, which Marciano used to cast doubt on her claims that he touched her inappropriately. And in season 3, the cast was very much divided on the issue of whether or not they believed Demi and what she was saying about Marciano. Some of the women questioned her version of events and expressed frustration because some of them were even there in Italy and were feeling like, you know, what they saw was very different from what she was saying. Others, like Whitney, tried to give Demi grace, pointing out how complicated trauma and consent can be. And well, you guys, this week, Lisa Vanderpump actually came out to defend Marciano against Demi's claims, saying she has seen the footage.
Oh, I categorically know what happened because we have cameras everywhere and I've seen every ounce of the footage. So I think when the women are doubting her, I think they've got very good reason. Any allegations against Marciano, I have the luxury of having all the footage.
Some of the cast commented on the video, like Jen, and said, "And I was the pathological liar." Michaela commented and said, "Will this nightmare ever end? Let's see the footage and move on." Demi ended up seemingly responding to this, writing, "Jessie's somewhere punching air right now that Lisa is talking about me and not her." So then Jessi got on IG stories to expose what Fruity Pebbles meant on the show. Which, if you guys remember, back in season 1 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Demi told the ladies a not safe for work situation involving her and her husband Brett. And in an episode, Whitney was talking about what Demi told them went down in the bedroom. And it sounded like something very crazy happened, and Fruity Pebbles had to do with the taste of what went down. Fans were left to make their own guesses as to what exactly happened, as they didn't just flat out say it, but they were definitely hinting that something crazy went down. And well, Jessi was fully telling the story of what that was.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving this Demi crash out era right now. Her saying something like this is laughable because genuinely would never be jealous of someone saying these things that Lisa's saying about her. She got caught on camera, she knows it, and she's trying to backtrack. So since she wants to be petty and be an asshole, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say that Grandpa Brett likes to drink her gets dirty soda and he gulps it down like water, and that's what Fruity Pebbles is.
Demi saw a repost of her response and commented, "I thought she took a break from social media. Good to know this is all it took to have that fame come crawling back. Like I said, punching air." Jessi then posted the comment on her Instagram story and said, "Demi, I think you're the one who needs a break from socials now. Time to ship off to the loony bin." And as Demi has recently insinuated that the show is more heavily scripted than it lets on, Jessi let her thoughts be known on a recent Instagram story, writing, "Honey, just because you script yourself doesn't mean our show is scripted. This behavior level of delusion and downward spiral should be studied." Later, Demi admitted to what Jessi said to be true on her Instagram story and wanted to acknowledge things, writing, "What my husband and I did one time behind closed doors was a consensual and private experience in our marriage. I won't let a private act between my husband and I be a distraction from a serious act that I did not consent to. I shared this information with Jessi in confidence nearly 2 years ago. It's very telling that she's choosing to break storyline and bring it up now, only after her own affair has come to light. This is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shift attention away from her own behavior." Jessi replied to this and said, "I love a good PR written statement. Shift attention away from what exactly? I have been the only one between the two of us to actually face my story head on and share the details. I'm not hiding from a damn thing. You're the one hiding, sweetheart, and everyone can see it." And basically what she's trying to say there is that I admitted that I stepped outside of my marriage with Marciano, and is claiming that Demi will not acknowledge what she did with Marciano and is instead coming out with these accusations against him. Now, in response to Demi calling out Jessi for talking about the Fruity Pebbles, Jessi reposted a comment that someone said about this whole thing, writing, "If this is so private and intimate, then why the constant Fruity Pebbles jokes, videos, costumes, and brand deals regarding it over the past year?" Basically calling out the fact that Demi has posted people wearing Fruity Pebbles costumes or the Fruity Pebbles cereal box on her Instagram story and just made this a whole big joke, and is now saying that this is a private, intimate thing that Jessi just exposed. Now, later, Jessi took to her Instagram story and said, "Also, Demi's upset that I'm outing her bedroom activities when she took my affair to production to leverage more money. Seems fair." And she kept coming for Demi and threw some shade at Demi, once telling people not to go to her salon, and shared that this is her new plate: bad hair. She also said, "Thanks for the idea, Demi." Jessi then goes on to explain why she's going so hard on her Instagram story.
You guys, I'm being petty as hell today, and I know it. I usually try to rise above this, but she's pushed me too far today. My stories today are for the people who have ever had friendships like this one, to the girls or the boys who have ever had a friend who intimidates them, who bullies them, who gaslights them, who puts themselves on a pedestal above you. I have been there. I have had so many friendships like this. I tend to attract it, and I'm doing inner work to see why, but she is the last friend I will ever have like this, and I'm standing up for myself because it has been 2 years of this ridiculous behavior, and I'm calling her out, and I'm feeling petty, and sorry, messy Jessi.
And just to top it all off, she wanted to go back to the Fruity Pebbles of it all and said why they called it that in the first place.
I don't think I made it clear enough in my story why they call that Fruity Pebbles. And I've gotten a lot of questions about that. So it's because it apparently tastes like Fruity Pebbles, which I'm not going to yuck your yum, but that's weird. But also I just want to say that, like, there's so much history here. Obviously I'm fed up for a reason. There are things in the reunion you will see, hopefully, of like why I feel the way I do. She did something to me that I feel is unforgivable and was like super insensitive, and hopefully you will see that play out when the reunion airs in just a few days. But yeah, if I end up with Brett driving by my house tonight or them trying to break in and kill me, you know who did it.
Now, as for Marciano, he's still defending himself and strongly denying the allegations brought against him from Demi. He insists that he never touched Demi and says the accusations are extremely damaging to his career, mental health, and reputation. He pointed out that Vanderpump Villa is heavily filmed with cameras positioned through the property, and he says that he feels confident that the footage will prove his innocence.
Sorry, Demi, but this is nothing you should be playing with. This is my real life. And with that being said, let's fast forward to yesterday. I did a collab post with Heather McDonald about a podcast we were dropping. She decided to become fully unhinged and go off in the comments. She proceeded to say, I privates, which obviously never happened, and of course is the first time she is ever mentioning privates. It's hilarious how her story continues to change. It's impossible to keep up with at this point. She then goes back and forth in the comments, now saying, I have a criminal record. Like, what the f is this girl even talking about? I literally got arrested one time in my whole life when I was 19 years old for disorderly conduct because I punched a street sign while I was leaving a bar. Mind you, that was 13 years ago and I've never been in trouble outside of that. Does that sound like I have a criminal record? She then says I deleted the comment, but like I said, this was a collab post where I wasn't able to delete the comments. This girl is literally grasping at anything to try and fix the mess she has created for herself.
He also added that Demi took personal attacks to a new level by allegedly bringing up his late father in online comments, which he said was deeply hurtful. And he also revealed that he is planning to take legal action against her in response to the accusations.
Let's get to the worst part. She then goes on to attack my dead father. She commented, was your daddy this big of a pussy? And then says he's looking down on me, disappointed and embarrassed with the person I have become. Okay, so now this is where I draw the fuck. You can attack me, make lies up about me, slander and defame me on TV or the internet, but you come at my father, who is no longer alive, is beyond sickening. Like, what kind of a human are you to stoop so low to attack someone who is deceased? And she is really showing the whole world what kind of a person she really is. I cannot wait to make this girl regret every lie she has ever told. After I get done with dealing this whole situation legally, I promise you guys, you will never have to see this girl on TV ever again. I will be sure she does not get away with this behavior and never does this to anyone.
This whole situation is just so insane, and people honestly just want the footage to be out there so we can know what happened in Vanderpump Villa. Multiple people are saying that there's footage. The cast of Mormon Wives wants the footage. I just can't believe all of this was going down on Instagram stories. Then Hulu decided to say that season 4 would be coming out soon. Like, seriously, the drama does not end with these ladies. And in season 4, we're still probably going to be talking about Marciano and Demi and Jessi, which is just wild. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Have you been paying attention to the Mormon Wives and everything that is being said here? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.